Ho, ho, ho. Happy holidays, Sam Fam. All right. So today we have our holiday edition. We're going to be building some offers in SKYSLOPE. But we'll do some normal housekeeping like we always do. On our Samson Cardinal Nest, you have our SKYSLOPE page. Log in here really quick. All right, so on our SKYSLOPE page, you have all of my contact information. So I do want to schedule a one-on-one with you. If you're new to Samson Properties, new to SKYSLOPE, or a new agent, definitely contact me. My phone number is here if you have a quick question and we can talk it out over the phone, or if you'd like to schedule a personal one-on-one with me, we can schedule over Zoom, have you share your screen with me and work right inside your account, or feel free to schedule an in-person one-on-one with me. And as always, you have your trusty cheat sheets here that will definitely help you when you're in a pinch. And all of our prior videos are on here as well. So if it's a slow time for you, take some time to get yourself up to speed on SKYSLOPE and all of the updates. We have some great updates that came out recently. Also on the SKYSLOPE page is your review team. So you have the name and email of your reviewer associated with your office, as well as all the associations whose forms feed into SKYSLOPE. They are all updated here for you. And as we get new association libraries added, we'll certainly be sending out emails to inform you of any new association libraries. So with that being said, we're going to get right into SKYSLOPE today and help you build a winning offer. As always, you're always going to log in to the main dashboard in order to start your forms file, where you should be creating all of your exclusivity forms or buyer broker agreements or right to list or sell. You're going to click on the apps button and go to forms. We're going to create a new file today and we're going to build an offer. So we're going to create our file and tell the system what sort of representation we're working with, either a buyer, tenant, seller, or landlord. And today we're going to work with Cindy Lou Who from Whoville. We're going to use our email address. You can use the same email address for multiple clients. I'm using my email address today just as an example and to show you what it looks like once the client receives their documents to sign. So I do encourage you, if this is your downtime, if this is your slow season, you can create your mock files just like I am. Set yourself up as the buyer, set yourself up as the seller. Get yourself familiar with how to build an offer or build a listing agreement and get all that information in. When we're working with buyers, we may not necessarily have an address. In this case, we're going to choose an address. We're going to use Whoville. All right. And you can name your file either by the address or the primary client. We're going to do a purchase file for Cindy Lou Who. So you can either choose the address, the primary client, or type directly in the field to name the file whatever you'd like. Now, Samson Properties has built us some amazing templates to pull in the most commonly used forms. We're going to use our residential purchase template and we're going to hit create. So this will pull in all of the forms that are commonly used for a buying transaction. In this case, we're just going to concentrate on building offers today. So I want to make sure you are building winning offers and getting everything filled out correctly, setting everything up to have your client sign in one sitting. So we're going to choose our residential sales contract. Cindy is going to use conventional financing. We're going to make sure she gets a home inspection. And we are going to also include our escalation. So in order to select multiple forms to group together to send out in one signing, you're going to use the little bubble on the left-hand side of each thumbnail of each form. That's going to group these forms together and essentially build our offer to send to our client to sign in one email or one sitting. Once you have the documents selected that you're grouping together, you can hit Fill and Send. Here's our grouping of forms. Here is our entire sales contract, all built out in one. It'll come back to you as one PDF. If you need to add a form, if you forgot to include one in your grouping here, you can click on Add Forms. You can either select a form that's already in the file, or you can add a form from the library, or if you'd like, you can upload a form from the outside. Maybe it's your pre-approval letter. You can include your pre-approval letter in this grouping by selecting Upload and uploading a form from your computer. We're going to go ahead and add the residential property disclosure. Once I hit Add Forms, it takes me to the library. I'm just going to use a keyword to type in the form that I'm looking for. Once it pops up, I can add it to my grouping of forms. Here it is. All right, so we're working with Cindy Lou Who. We have our sales contract here, and again, this is not a sales writing class. So if you need some more education on writing your offers, Samson Properties offers you tons of classes and training. Our brokers offer contract writing classes. Definitely get yourself up to speed. Okay, so we're going to enter our seller. That'll be Mr. Grinch. And Cindy Lou is going to offer $1 million. Perfect. Okay. We're going to settle on Christmas Day. Now in the real world, make sure you're not settling on a holiday. Make sure you are choosing a settlement date that is not the end of the month. Gives everybody plenty of time in lieu of holidays to close and be recorded. We're going to choose Cardinal Title Group, our favorite settlement company. All right, so you're going to continue to go through your forms, fill everything out. Maybe Mr. Grinch's agent forgot to put in their deport, so we're going to go ahead and give them one. Okay. You can bounce from form to form simply by clicking on the name of the form. If you wanted to reorganize the way that these forms appear, you can go ahead and drag them with the little lines on the left-hand side of the name of each form and reorganize them and put them in an order that's pleasing to you or your client. Once we have everything filled out, we're going to go ahead and hit Prepare Signature. Rename your envelope. Once you hit the Prepare Signature button, this is super important. You want to rename your envelope. So it does advise you here, name your envelope to quickly keep track of what's being sent. This is just a little note for yourself to know what you're sending to the client, because we're sending our clients several things to sign throughout the lifetime of their purchase. Just make yourself a note on what you are sending. So this is going to be our offer for Whoville. Because I put in the seller name, it will pull in the seller as a contact. I didn't enter in any emails, so we're just going to leave the seller contact as a no action. But we want to make sure our client, Cindy Lou, needs to sign. You're going to hit next. And DigiSign will take care of populating all the places where Cindy Lou needs to sign. So your job at the DigiSign portion is to review all of your documents for, of course, accuracy, making sure that the system has put placeholders for their initials. So do scroll through your document very carefully just to make sure all the initials are there. Now, if we forgot to place some text, we do have a text field option. Go ahead and place your text box. Keep in mind, any of the actions or menu items you're choosing up here at the top will automatically highlight to the signer you have chosen on the left. For text fields, we want this to be a read-only or flat text on the page. So once you've placed your text field and it has the active tab pointing at it, meaning it's active, it's hot, click the Read Only option. That turns it gray. That makes it neutral. And you can enter in any text. Now, if we come across any one of our forms here that have an option, those options will not be auto-populated for the client signature. We need to tell the system which option our client is choosing. So Cindy is going to elect to have a home inspection with option to void only. I'm going to choose her signature and place her signature next to the option that she's choosing and click in the white space to lock it in. Here's her auto-populated signature, placeholder, and the date. Again, we have options. We want to make sure we're choosing the appropriate option. Make sure you're writing winning contracts and placing all your clients' initials or signatures everywhere where they belong. Okay, now in the event we missed a checkbox, we also have a checkbox tool up here. We're going to choose checkbox. We're going to maintain the appraisal for Cindy Lou. So we do want to choose a checkbox, but I don't want Cindy to be able to check this box. So while it's active and has a tab pointing at it, we're going to choose Read Only to turn it gray and make it neutral, and check the box by default. That way it will appear as a flat checkbox on the page. You can just scroll through, make sure your client's signatures and dates are everywhere where they need to be. Any flat text is on the page. Once everything's ready to go, we can hit send. If you needed to save and exit, there is a draft feature. You can hit save and exit, and your grouping of forms will be saved as a draft. You can click right back into the envelope, and it takes you right back to where you were, preserving all of the work that you did. So we'll just double check that all of our flat text and check boxes are there. So there is a auto-save function, essentially. Okay. All right, everything looks good. I'm ready for Cindy to sign her offer. I'm going to hit send. This will generate an email. You can go ahead and change the subject line. You can change the message. Just make sure you are making your message nice and neutral. In the event you have two buyers or sellers, they're both going to receive the same automated email. And our offer's been sent to the client to sign electronically. You can click I'm done, and this will take you back to your envelopes tab of your file. If you click on the envelope, you can see what's inside. Here's our 22 pages that we grouped together. Here is the flat text that we placed on the page. You won't see any signatures or initials until the client has signed. I'm going to show you that next. There's the checkbox that we placed on the page. Okay. So Cindy will have received an email. It's going to be from you. They're going to hit Get Started. Anytime you're asking for a signature, they do have to agree to the e-terms. They'll hit Start, and it will take them right to the first field that they need to initial or sign. They'll click in the first field and choose their font. They do have a few options. They can draw their signature initial, or they can choose the font that works for them. It will then continue to float them to every single place they need to initial or sign. So we want to make sure when you're doing your dummy files, get in the practice of knowing what the client is going to see. There's that option that we chose. We placed her initial manually. And it will continue to float her to every place where she needs to initial or sign. Any place that there's a signature, it will auto-populate the date. Once they're finished signing, their Finish Signing button will light up. They can hit Finish Signing. They can then download the documents that they've already signed or continue on by viewing the documents and reading through everything very, very carefully. Okay. Once Cindy has finished her signing, you will see your status of your envelope is completed. We're going to get this over to the listing agent. You have a few options here. What I suggest is downloading as a single PDF so that all of your documents come in as one single PDF. Download them to your computer, open up your email, and send it off to the listing agent. Your grouping of forms will be named by what you named your envelope. So Cindy Lou, who, purchase offer for Whoville. This is your offer that you're sending off. Easy peasy. Okay. You'll also receive, and the client will receive as well, an envelope completed notification. You can also download your documents from here by clicking on View Documents and downloading them using the download button or printing them. But all you need to do is download. So writing winning offers is super easy in SKYSLOPE. I've downloaded my offer, I've sent it off to the listing agent, and the listing agent sent it back to me ratified. Once I have in my possession a ratified contract, I'm going to go back to SKYSLOPE and I'm going to hit Create Transaction. My screen looks a little different than yours, but you do have a Create Transaction button right here. You can also get to it from Manage Transactions, and you'll have a green Create Transaction button. So this part is super important. You've started all of your work on the form side. You've built your offer over there. You've gotten your buyer broker agreement over there. All of your forms are signed on the form side. You want to tie in or connect that forms file to your transaction in SKYSLOPE. So the moment that you hit Create Transaction, you'll get a choose how you would like to create your file. Always choose SKYSLOPE Forms if you have written your offer on the form side. Hit Select, and it's going to auto-populate a lot of the information for you. I have a couple extra fields that I need to fill in. You want to tell the system the accepted date and how you got this. Your checklist type will always be by state, so please make sure you are choosing the correct state and the type of transaction you're creating. We're doing a residential purchase. Type of representation, we only have a few to choose from. We're going to do purchase or tenant. And the close date pulled in from the offer that we wrote. If there are any fields that you forgot to fill out, the system will tell you. Just fill out those corresponding fields. All right. It pulled in the information from the offer that we wrote because we told our offer documents that Mr. Grinch was the seller. It pulls that information in, so it does a lot of the work for you. Okay. We do need to enter in our client's phone number. We're going to pull in Cardinal Title Group. And enter in all the listing agent information. Once you've received green check marks that were once red asterisks, you now have a submit button. You're just submitting that information and confirming your commission and who's holding the EMD. We're only going to hold the EMD and check yes here for Samson Properties. If Cardinal Title Group is holding your EMD or any other company besides Samson Properties, you will choose no. Go ahead and hit submit, and you now get your checklist. Your required items will be red, and any information that you have, maybe you have that ratified contract in your email, you can then email it directly to your SKYSLOPE's unique email address. So we're just going to go ahead and copy this email address, forward or email any documents we have pertaining to our Whoville offer. You don't need a subject line. You can also forward any documents you have in your email or forward any emails that you have in your email with documents pertaining to your deal. You can just forward them right over to your transaction's unique email address, and they will be delivered into your Documents tab. Here it is. Cindy Lou Who purchase. Okay. So we have a lot of documents in here. We have our contract, we have all of our addendums, and we also have the deport. We need to split this out in order to attach all the correct documents to the checklist because the deport is a separate checklist item. We want to make sure we're splitting that document. So if I have one full PDF full of all sorts of addendums and disclosures, maybe it's lead-based paint, maybe it's additional addendums, you can split them out. So new larger document view allows you to split and assign documents with confidence all in one swoop. So let's go ahead and work on that. Ooh, it did get larger. This is new. Uh-oh, unexpected server. We are having an Amazon issue today. The elves at Amazon, I think, are down. So we may not be able to show this to you today, but the option is there for you. Let's try this one more time. No. If you need some more information on splitting documents, we do have a cheat sheet for you. It's called Splitting Documents. So on our Cardinal Nest, you have the Splitting Documents cheat sheet. It does go over how to split documents and assign them to the checklist at the same time. Now, I wish I could be available for you 24 hours a day. However, I'm not. If you need one of the helpers at SkySlope, you can click on the support link and use the chat feature is one of the quickest ways to reach the SkySlope team. They are there for you 24 hours a day. So you can use the chat or you can give them a call. If you do call them, it's the 800 number here and option number 2. Okay, so 24-hour tech support is there for you with SkySlope. We're going to go ahead and go back to our home page. You're always going to click on the Samson Properties logo to go right back to your home page. If we needed Cindy to sign one more document, we can include an addendum. We made a note of what we are changing or adding to the contract on our addendum. We'll prepare signature. Remember to rename your envelope. It's going to prepare our documents for us. It's going to auto-populate the client's signature and date. We're going to send this over for Cindy. She's going to go ahead and sign it. Remember, they're going to get an email right from you. They're going to hit Get Started. They're going to agree to the e-terms. Sign. Now, anything that you have signed on your forms file will automatically come to your Transactions Documents tab, and I'm going to show you that. We completed the addendum. We completed the envelope. I could download it as a single PDF to my computer. But because I had a completed envelope on my forms file, it's going to automatically come over into my Documents tab. So it's doing a lot of the work for you. Sometimes it takes a moment. Let's go back and double check. We have our 2 envelopes. Here's the offer. Here's the addendum. Well, it's taking its time in the internet. A couple other items. If you want to clean up your Documents tab, remember, because your documents are here doesn't necessarily mean they've been added to the checklist. The Documents tab is going to be where all of your documents are collected. The checklist is where you're turning in item by item to be reviewed by our review team. So if we want to attach, we can go right from our checklist and check the checkbox. We're going to assign this document to the appropriate checklist item, hit assign, and we'll have a little paper clip showing us where we assigned the document. So you can assign directly from your Documents tab. Here it is. And yours will say in review, and it'll be in yellow. We have some contract documents. We're going to assign right here. So remember, your ratified contract and all corresponding addenda does go in with the ratified contract. If you have secondary addendum, we do have an additional addendum line for you here. It is if applicable. You can go ahead and do any subsequent addendums on the additional addendum document checklist item. Let's try and refresh and get that addendum over. Well, let's clean this up. So I do have, it looks like my email signature came through and it came through as a picture. I don't need this, so I can just go ahead and move it to the trash file. Out of sight, out of mind. Nothing ever gets permanently deleted. It always just gets hidden in the trash file for you. So you can clean up your Documents tab if you'd like. Okay, if perhaps something's changed on your close date, or a seller name has changed, you can change all of that information here. So maybe our close date has been extended to the 31st. You're going to go to your Transaction tab, change the information, and hit Next. That changes the information. If you had to change a seller name, they have been grayed out once you save them. Just click the Edit button. They'll light back up and you can make any revisions, making sure to hit Save so that it sticks. Okay, so we will close with a couple housekeeping items, just as we always do. Again, if you need SkySlope support, they are here 24/7 on the SkySlope main dashboard. It's the man with the little headset. On the form side, it's the Help button, and that takes you directly to SkySlope support page. Okay? If and when we add new associations, you can click on your name on the form side, add your new association or any association for which you are a member or secondary member. Add your association in order to access that association's library. Again, my information is here. My desk line is here. Call me Monday through Friday. If I'm with an agent or training like I am today, please do leave me a voicemail. I will call you back. My email is here as well. If you'd like to schedule a one-on-one or a Zoom session, or you have a quick question, do email me. I am happy to help. I am here to help support you. I'm your SkySlope helper. If you have any questions, do email me. New agents, definitely part of your initiation checklist. Do schedule a one-on-one with me. I'm here to help you. I hope everybody has a happy holiday season, and I look forward to you writing some winning contracts in the new year and making it the best year yet. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Have a great holiday season. We'll see you next time.